Here we go. Round of applause one time for everybody stepping into Maxwell's house. What's up? I'm Maxwell, and I truly appreciate Audio Technica for being a partner to help us explore the conversation and include anybody and everybody who steps on into Maxwell's house, but just wipe your feet before you make your way into the building like the homie Nurko just did. Round of applause for our very first guest of the show. What up, dude?
How's it going, man?
Welcome. And for anybody who's kind of watching this now, what they need to know is that one of my dear friends, one of my favorite people on the planet, messed up earlier, and we had like the best intro, but he made us redo it again. So shout out to Chris running the love you, man, but you screwed up, bro. He's laughing over there, but I want to talk about how we sped up our conversation because we had the chance to meet in real life about a week or so ago. And we were like, yo, we need to have a convo.
Yeah.
Wait till you get back from tour. But then it was like, no, let's go ahead and let's
quick. Yeah.
Let's turn this around rather quick. So the conversation should first start with how's the heart, man? How you feeling?
Feeling good. Yeah, just working. Working on music, working on finishing album stuff.
Everything.
Yeah.
Does it get to a point at some time where it does feel like there's a lot with a little time?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like some days it's just kind of almost like I don't have enough time in the day. It's like I wake up, I work, and then it's like 3 a.m.
and then it's you do it all over again the next day. Yeah. And we were speaking earlier as well that neither of us are morning people so much.
No,
yeah. So I mean, it's just like when that alarm goes off, are you a snooze several times type of a dude?
Definitely a snooze several times, but unless I have like a flight or something when I need to get out, but definitely a snooze person. But lately I've actually been missing my alarms. Like
really?
Yeah.
Sleeping through them?
I don't know. I think I'm accidentally selected on my phone for like the alarm to be really quiet.
Yeah.
So,
same.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that aggressive. I'm not gonna front, bro. I'm the kind of guy who does the melody in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it ends up turning into a song in my brain, and you don't even realize that it's the alarm going off.
It's part of your dream at that point. Yeah.
Let's rewind back a bit, man, and I gotta get to know you as well as some of the fans who have loved your music for a while now. They maybe don't know the full backstory, but how does a Jersey guy end up in different parts of the planet performing music? Did you ever think that growing up in a household that was a different type of art would turn into becoming one of the dopest producers and musical creators and DJs on the planet? Where did it start for you, dog?
I mean, yeah, I kind of grew up around music. Like my dad, he plays guitar. My grandparents, they played piano and singing and stuff. So I was kind of brought up in music most of my life.
Yeah.
So I started playing drums, take drum lessons, and then piano lessons after that, and then it just kind of spiraled into what it is now.
So drums, is that usually? I have heard from a few friends and other artists that's kind of the gateway, not the gateway drug, but yeah, that's the gateway drug to a musician is when you get that rhythm, that drum pattern down.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, because it's like the once you get the rhythm, that's like almost like the first thing people notice in music, like is the drums, the beat. So I think we pick that up when we're young as like like this is music. This is like. Yeah.
And when you say young, what age was it when you started banging on stuff and it started to make sense?
Oh, I was pretty young. I think I started banging on like a pod or something when I was like probably like 7, 8 or something.
Okay.
Something like that.
And then your parents were brave enough to give you a drum set, dude?
I think it took a few years before I did the first drum set.
Because I think about, and I feel like if my mom my mom watches everything, dog, too. So shout out, Mom, love you, whichever camera you're in. She taps into all the radio stuff I do, the video stuff she can probably vouch for this. I think I got like a Smurfs drum set when I was like right around like 5 or 6, and I feel like I caused havoc around the crib at that point in time. Like at the house, it must have been insane. So for you, was it just like?
Yeah, I mean it was pretty loud. So I commend them for allowing that to happen.
And when do you think that it turned into like, wow, he's got some talent?
I mean, yeah, it was. That's when it started when I started to learn piano. I started to take piano lessons, and that's when it was like, now I really want to make music because you kind of start to understand how music works with the piano.
For sure.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, piano and drums, those were the two that really.
And your parents were artists as well, but when you say your dad musician and grandparents, but it was a different type of art also.
Yeah, they do. They're like artists, like mural painting, stuff like that. So they had like this big studio in the house with where both of them kind of worked from.
Gotcha.
So there's all these paintings and stuff. They did like the.
You lie, dude.
No, I swear. I mean,
hold on for a second.
They didn't.
Nurko fam.
Yeah.
Like that we all see and have seen on TV for.
Yeah, they were in my house. I was like I walked in one day and I saw a bunch of like blank, like not painted yet. So like someone else made them, and then they like painted them.
Yo, for real. That's sick.
Yeah, and then
how many people know that?
I mean, I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk. I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk. Okay,
well, the world knows it, but
yeah,
that is
I think it's
dope.
fine now.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, no one really. A lot of people didn't know about it. I used to make like little movies too,
stop motion type stuff.
Yeah, no, like as like a hobby, I made like little movies, and I think like for a split second, one of the like pre-painted was in a shot, and like I woke up in the YouTube and it was like taken down. I was like, oh, how do these people know about? Like, damn, they take that
you screwed
seriously.
up a little bit. They take it, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That is IP that the world wasn't supposed to have at that point in time, dude.
Yeah.
But hey, that's what I love about that part of the story is that's the creativity. It's been in your blood, bro.
Yeah.
And so when does it move from kind of like that artistry that your parents are doing, the different type of graphic design stuff and all that, to seeping into you truly wanting to? I mean, if we have to speed up a bit, like when did you realize like this is something that I want to do? This was my life's purpose is going to be.
Yeah, I think it was like actually at a concert here in New York actually.
Okay.
So I went to this concert.
Oh, I think I wrote that down, dude. It was
really?
It was a Schwangel show.
Yeah, Schwangel, which is like nothing like my music whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I still I liked them, and I went to this concert, and I was like, damn, man. I walked out. I was like, this is what I wanted. Like, I want to do this. I want to be on stage. I want to play stuff live. I want to DJ at the same time. All that stuff. Because it was just like this experience I felt that I wanted to like give other people.
Yeah.
Because I felt like a big like. I don't even know how to explain it. It was just like very moving experience.
No, I don't think that you're wrong for not understanding how to explain it, because it is a feeling that they created in you that you're creating for other fans who have turned out across the globe.
Yeah.
It's that that connectivity through melody, through gosh, man, we'll get into this in a little bit too. The lights at the show, the full experience. It's not just something that you could put words to. How dope is it for you to know that you are creating, you're feeling that in your heart, and that's translating, to the hearts of everybody across the planet at this point in time?
Yeah, it feels really good, and over time we kind of built the experience more and more.
Yeah.
Like I think it was like 2 years ago we brought in this VJ, and he's so talented. His name's Milgram. He does a lot of he does like Excision. I don't know if you know Excision. He did some of his stuff.
Okay.
But so he does all the visual stuff you see behind me, like on stage.
Sick.
And then we brought in this lighting guy as well recently, and so he does like stuff like almost like making my logo with lights. Like, at certain points. It's pretty cool. So yeah, we try and build, the more and more the experience.
It's a full body. It's a takeover. When people leave your show and they start to tell you things like, "Man, I felt that." I didn't just hear it, but I felt that, or I listened to, X, Y, and Z track.
Yeah.
When I was going through, a breakup, or when I needed to, finally finish that 5K.
Yeah.
What I'm saying? Like, as a creator, that's got to be one of the dopest feelings ever.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's one of my favorite things when people say like my music has helped them in some way. Like, like I've had, because like after my shows, I like to talk to fans after, and so many fans say like, oh, like I was going through this rough time and I played this song and it really helped me. So then that's like my main goal of the music,
Let's rewind a bit as we're kind of in this pocket of emotion and feeling through your music. You studied a little bit about that when you were in school, psychology,
Yeah.
like, how did that take us to then, and how that maybe works its way into your production, your DJ shows?
Yeah, so I mean, I did. I went in college. I was interested in like cognitive science,
Yeah.
like almost like neuro stuff, where like the brain and all that. And then, but I was also majoring. It was like a double major with music, so I kind of was really into like psychology and just like
Yeah.
the human mind. And then when music kind of took over, I still kind of had that like, music is a form of therapy for people,
For sure.
So like in a way I'm still doing a similar job that I did out of college, which I actually worked at like a behavioral hospital.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was
Were you a technician of some sort? Were you?
yeah, it was like a technician because you can't be a licensed
Yeah, you got to like go to
therapist.
school
Yeah.
and get
Masters and
for sure.
and a doctor and all that. So it was like an entry, like out of college technician job. But yeah, but I was still doing music like the whole time, and then eventually I was just able to kind of, leave that behind and have
Yeah.
music take over full time. But yeah, I always think not just me, like other artists, like you're doing a similar thing with music. Like it really helps people, through. I mean, I remember I would see literally music therapy in the hospital
Yeah.
there, and they would just play instruments and people would say, "Oh yeah, feel better."
Who were some of those artists for you, man, that were maybe therapy, or you put on when you were just like, man, I want to escape for this 20 minutes, or even if it was 5 minutes, or if it was an entire album? Who are some of those artists that did that for you the same way that you're doing that for others?
Well, in terms of like, yeah, just like therapy, like just trying to get away from everything. Probably there's this one artist. I think it's Amon Tobin or Amon Tobin.
Okay.
He's a Brazilian artist, but he's like known for being like one of the best sound designers in history. But he's some of his stuff is just so like a very like lo-fi, very
Yeah.
like chill out, and just kind of like close your eyes and just like vibe out.
Yeah, just feel engulfed in the sound.
Yeah, and he's also a big inspiration too, I would say, for my stuff.
What about if we even go back a little bit further? Who were some of those artists that you listened to, dude, growing up? Like, what was pumping the speakers at the house? Let's go like middle school. Like, what were you rocking to?
Let's see. I mean, because like I grew up with a lot of rock because of my dad,
Dope.
so I was listening to a lot of the stuff he listened to, which was like like Led Zeppelin and
Icons.
yeah, the Beatles, a lot of rock space, Black Sabbath.
Okay.
And, like Ozzy Osbourne actually just passed away, unfortunately. But yeah. And then other stuff, like rap, like Eminem, stuff like that.
Another icon. One of the goats.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, let's go with I don't know. Think I was gonna go. This high school, Nurko. Who was on your Mount Rushmore of artists at the time?
High school.
So like Eminem.
You know what? I think it was Jimi Hendrix, because like
He's on all
Yeah.
four, just different heads of Jimi Hendrix. As he
yeah,
is
yeah,
that dude.
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, because I was really interested in guitar solos in high school,
Okay.
even though I didn't play guitar at that time, and I was just like. I would listen to his solos, and they were just like these like insane. This like he used the guitar as like almost like a way that no one else really did especially
does.
at that time. Yeah.
Yeah, even.
And they were just like, oh, he was just an icon, man. Like,
Dude, gosh, man. Yeah. How fun was it to be in an environment that bred creativity? You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the same time, and I think maybe I heard you say this in an interview a while back. At the same time, not a lot of like structure in the sense of a typical 9 to 5 gig, but your parents really embraced, allowing you to be creative. How cool was that, and what was that like to be in an environment that allowed you to be you?
Yeah, it was definitely cool because a lot of other artists have had parents that were very traditional, like corporate 9 to 5, and they didn't necessarily approve of what their kids are doing.
Yeah.
Where with me, like they understand the creativity, and it's really like all I know. I couldn't imagine doing anything else, and
Same.
I think it's a blessing and a curse because you don't have that structure of like oh, I'm getting a paycheck this 2 weeks, or I'm getting a salary of this. It's very like all over the place. But
for sure.
But yeah, it was definitely very cool.
But to that, I would imagine it creates that fire and that drive that you have to succeed, that you need to succeed because your life is dependent on it, and the people who you get to work with, because it isn't just you as well. We're gonna have Bob hop into the conversation just a little bit, who's over here tucked in the corner, but you've got a team around you. You got people around you who rely on that drive and that hunger to succeed. So I'd imagine that not knowing, I don't want to say not knowing where the next paycheck is gonna come from, but it's like I gotta hustle, otherwise it's ramen for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's like it's just a very unpredictable industry because like it's a lot of it is relied on people emailing back, and they just might not email back. I mean, I don't really see that stuff, but like my manager, and like I'll be like, oh, XYZ, did you hear about that? And they would just be like, oh, he didn't respond. He didn't get back yet. So you kind of have to just like rely on a lot of other uncontrollable aspects that you don't have any control over. So
and are you that kind of guy that can deal with that unpredictability, or does it stress you out a little bit?
It definitely stresses me. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it definitely stresses me out because I like to be able to control everything.
For sure.
I have that issue, and then this is like the complete opposite of an industry, like where you have no control at all.
Yeah.
The only thing I can control is just making the music and doing the stuff as an artist.
Let's hang there for a little bit and let's talk about the Astroworks, and being a part of this label and the creation process of a song. I mean, you've been able to remix some of the dopest records out there. You've been able to receive vocals from some of the best vocalists on the planet, and we're gonna chat about some of the new music in just a bit. But how does that work? How does it start? Do you get an email? Somebody did respond to something.
Yeah.
And you're like, yo, let me take this and flip it, and you know what I mean, and put my Nurko energy towards it, or what?
Yeah, kind of. There's a few different ways. One is like that the vocalist kind of reaches out to you.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I have this top line. Do you want to work around it? And you build this. So I'll build the song around the vocal. And then there's times where I'll start the instrumental and I'll reach out to vocalists and be like, hey, do you want to, hop on this? Thought it would be a good vibe for you. But then with places like Astroworks, which is like Capitol Records, they send like just like a huge like kind of a file with just all these vocals, and you kind of go through them, and I think I could kind of work with this, and then they have to reach out to the vocalist, and then there's like the vocalist kind of almost like approves, oh yeah. You can work on it, kind of thing. So there's a lot of different ways.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
So are there just like terabytes of just like raw vocals from artists all over the place? Or I don't say all over the place, but that you have access to in this database, and it's just like whatever hits your heart.
Yeah.
You kind of follow that path, and if it turns out to be a match, it's boom, next thing you know, I'm playing it on the radio.
Yeah, I mean it's there's some vocals that just like I've received, and I was just like, yo, this is crazy. Like I think the one of the best times with that was like my collab with Elenium.
Okay. Yep.
And that's Valerie Broussard, and she just had this. I think she sent him the vocal, and it was like just over piano, and then he sent it to me, and I was driving and I heard it for the first time. I'm like, holy, this is like insane. This is like beautiful. Yeah. And then the song was very easy to make from there because of just how good the vocal is.
Okay. What was one that was maybe a little bit more difficult, but once you got it to its completion, you were like, it felt right, and it was worth the journey. Yeah,
I mean, there's definitely been so many creative blocks, and that just happens sometimes. I think my song "Breathe" with Luma actually started out with me just not really knowing what to do.
Yeah,
and then I just kind of had this idea, and it just kind of creative flow just happened, and the song came from there.
Where do those moments hit? Like, are you guys 35,000 feet in the air, you know what I'm saying, on a flight from here to, Malaysia or wherever it is, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, let me whip out the cell phone and let me roll the melody.
Yeah.
Where can it be any point in time?
Yeah, literally any point. Like, I have so many ideas just on my phone, like voice memos. So it'll be like on the plane, sometimes in the shower. There's times where like I'm like trying to sleep and I have to go. I'm like, and I got this melody in my head and I like, have to be up early. But I'm like, if I don't record this melody right now, I'm gonna regret it. I'm gonna lose it, and then I'm just gonna regret it. So I'll just record it on my phone.
Like you hum, you
hum something, yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah. I don't want to show. I'll never show people it because like that.
He saw where I was going.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah.
No, but no, it really is just it's a matter of getting that creative energy out in that moment and allowing yourself to breathe, to sleep at some point in time, but then to layer on top of that, and
yeah,
it's that instantaneous.
Because it's kind of like all I have to do is just hum a melody. I'd be like, oh, it kind of this kind of idea, and then I'm able to hear it and be like, oh, I know what I was talking about it like last night. Like, it doesn't need to be like too in depth. It's just like little recording. I've done it like when I was like with like about to like board a flight, and then I was like, I gotta.
You're trying to put the phone down on the machine to tap the boarding patch. Like, hold on for a second.
Yeah, but also people are looking at you like, what are you doing right now? I'm just like,
dude. But gosh, man, and I want to get back to that emotion and that energy. That it must feel just so validating when you're able to see something, no matter what the career path is. Even I know that we're talking about DJing and producing, but to see something from start to finish must be one of the most validating. I mean, especially when you get out there and you press play on the decks. And by the way, there's like 17 turntables. How do you do that? That's another thing I need to know about. How are there like 4 turntables at a show, and then there's 3 mixers and then lasers going off? Like, that's another. I'll get into that. But when you see something from start to finish,
it's really interesting. I would like a lot of times, because like since I travel and I'm touring so much, a lot of ideas have started just like in a hotel room and stuff on my laptop, and like then they just turn into full blown songs, like, and then you're playing them live. It is pretty crazy for sure,
dude. Oh my gosh, I wanna transition into before we get Bobby in, because he's waiting patiently in the corner here. You want to pop into the conversation now, fam? Whatever. Yeah. Come on in. So here's a part of when you're here at Maxwell's house, man. Everybody's welcome. Everyone here who's been a part of the journey deserves to to not only share their vantage point, but also you're a part of it. Bring the mic in and welcome to the show, dog.
Thank you.
What's it like to be a part of this creation process, this journey to to traverse the world? And before we started rolling, I was hearing you talk about you guys got to head over to the embassy to get paperwork done, but to be there to support and to be a part of this energy.
I mean, he's my best friend, so it's like it doesn't feel like we're doing work.
Yeah,
it just almost feels like we're traveling and we're getting to showcase this like amazing music to the fans and this experience. It feels normal. Like it just feels natural. That's what it is.
All right, so you guys like legit, like you guys used to hang out in the creek type friends
pretty much
back in the day? Wow,
I think we met in like Spanish class.
Yeah,
wow.
In high school, yeah.
Do any of you either remember any of that Spanish class?
No.
Just like BS.
I do a little bit.
Yeah,
I remember some of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember some stories.
How was he as a student, and how were you?
mean,
like how? Yeah, vice versa. What you know what I mean?
I mean, I regret not. I mean, high school I just was not the best. So like I now like looking back, I wish I paid more attention and stuff. But he was definitely a little better than I was.
You cheated off of him.
No, I don't think I cheated on it. I mean, the way the desks were laid out, I don't think I was.
It was impossible.
Yeah, but he's responsible for all the visuals for the brand. Like in terms of like, if you look at my Instagram, everything's blue. Like it's this blue theme. So it's all kind of he's like the man behind all that.
Let's chat about that. How cool is it to not only to be responsible, but to know that what you're doing is enhancing this brand, and to know that it matches and that it feels right, and it doesn't go. It, I would think, obviously goes back to knowing each other so well. But like how cool is it from your vantage point to help be a part of visually what the world gets to hear along with what they see?
I think it's beautiful. Honestly, it's like when Jack goes to go meet the fans after the show, he'll do like a meet and greet, and all the stories behind it like how they feel when they listen to the music. And a lot of the times we'll see tattoos of the logo on their arms or on their bodies somewhere, and it has some kind of meaning to it.
Yep.
For them, versus like when making the brand and building the brand, it was just like this logo, and we were kind of trying to find a meaning towards it before finalizing it. But to see them experience it in a different light, I don't know, it's just like a really beautiful experience.
It's dope. It's almost like when, someone like myself gets lyrics tattooed on their arm. It takes its own shape and its own meaning, maybe completely different from what you were feeling, but that connection through the sound, through the visual, it allows that person to...
Yeah, it's almost like using multiple senses, like the eyes for the visuals and the ears for the music. So it's like combining both of them. It's pretty important.
You said something, our buddy Jack, but the Nurko. I want to go back to, and do you know the origin story of the name? What is the origin story of the name?
Oh yeah, so my hometown, where I grew up and everything, there's a street called Nurko Road, so it's a street, and so every time I visit there now, I will take a picture of it and just be like, oh, visiting Nurko Road, and some people are like, wait, I didn't even know that was a...
Had no idea.
Yeah, it's a road, but I think it's named after these people that live there, and they have no idea that my name is Nurko. I don't think to this day, I don't think they have any idea it's even a thing.
All right, so are there just houses on this road? Is there a strip mall? Is that where the local CVS is, or where, you know what I'm saying?
It just seems like it's all townhouses. So there's some farms and stuff. So whoever these Nurko people are, I wonder one day they're probably gonna find out.
It's gonna click.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's gonna happen.
They're gonna be like, what the hell? What the hell is this?
Dude, like, you obviously knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, gosh, to watch it be so ingrained, because I mean, listen, there's obviously importance to a name and you elevating, who you are, but also putting your very hometown like street on the map. Like, yo, how weird is that you guys have people on the other side of the planet like repping like Jersey, Nurko Street?
I know, yeah. I mean, we have like a Facebook group with like where fans are, and I've had some fans like take a picture of the Nurko Road, and they're like, "Oh, look where I am right now." I was like, "Wait, what?" First of all, that's pretty close to where I live. So, but besides that, it was still cool though.
Damn, dude. I guess we did kind of already ask this question, have this little conversation, but just like how proud and how cool is it to be alongside your best friend and to know that, the sky's the limit and that you guys get to do this together? Like, what's that like?
I think I'm trying to come up with like a word. Other than beautiful, I think it's just like, it's exciting to see like from where it started to where it is now.
Yeah.
I think it's like it's the only thing that I can really think of is like it's just a really beautiful experience. It's like there's nothing like it. It's to see something from start to finish and see fans like crying from the music.
Yeah. And
traveling from show to show. There are fans that will go to one show and they'll go to the second show that we'll have the second day. Yeah. They'll just travel to it. And there's a lot of fans that are from different countries and traveled a long way.
Yep.
So for them to really take out the time and investment to really see
that
the
part,
artist.
investment. I mean, when you think about tickets, it's tough to book a flight to go somewhere to see a show, but they're, as fans, willing to invest in you. That's got to be a whole nother level of fulfillment that, this connection, this community that you're building is just something that's just super, important.
Yeah, it's very touching to like, I've had some fans say that they've like flown out from Germany and stuff. I was like, wait, what, Germany?
Yeah, would you ever? Yeah,
Yeah,
would
like
you
that's like, and it was like a random. I think it was some venue in Arizona or something. Like it was like, why here? Why this show though? Like why this one? And they're like, yeah, man, it just worked out.
Yeah, dude, there's no daylight saving here in Arizona. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is for me. You know what I mean? I needed to be there for the Tex-Mex grub that they have here. I needed to try it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's one of those things that I've never, and I've been lucky and blessed enough to have conversations with some of the, you included, dopest artists and DJs and producers. He didn't fart, ladies and gentlemen. That was just a chair.
Yeah, that was a chair.
Yeah, just want to make sure. Yeah, there are some things that aren't allowed in Maxwell's house, fam. All right, and that's one of them. No, but it's like it's super cool to see and to realize that there are folks who are traveling and willing to invest in who you are. All right, hey, I don't want to kick you out, Bobby, but yeah, man, thanks for pulling up, fam. Yeah, shout out to Bobby in the building one time. There we go, dude. Hey, I want to transition. We're hanging out here, and as a kid, how could I put this best? Let's go with some house rules. We're chilling in Maxwell's house. We're all comfortable. We've already established that you didn't fart. One of the rules is that you do not, please, anybody who wants to step in at any point in time, that's one of the rules that I'm going to set up for all my guests. Yeah, from now
just
on.
Hearing that chair was just, you're like, you know what, that's going to be a rule.
That's going to be a rule.
Yeah.
House rules. What were some of those house rules growing up as a kid that you had that your parents made sure to enforce?
Well, I grew up on this. It's a lot of woods, and then there's like an irrigation lake that's kind of like in the woods, kind of by it. And as a kid, you're like, oh my god, there's a lake. Like there's like an actual lake right behind my house, but it's actually like an irrigation lake where all these chemicals and stuff are in. So like they would say like, because like I think a few times I like would come back and I would just be like soaking wet from being in the lake.
But it's an irrigation lake, fam.
Yeah, I didn't at my little kid mind. Yeah, I was just like, I don't care if it's an irrigation lake. It's water. Like I want to just I bring the dog in there and everything. And
all right.
And they're like, yeah, that's not, next. Let's make this a rule to not go in that lake.
Not swim in the irrigation lake.
Yeah, not
from here on out.
For a farm that's like fueling a bunch of chemicals.
Understandable. I'm gonna add to house rules that I had. Wow, dude, I'm crying real tears, bro. The only thing that's I'm popping in my mind is the episode of The Simpsons. Y'all remember when the fish came out and had 3 eyes? Yeah, there was like an episode. Yeah, I'm like, man, I'm glad it didn't turn out that way. For
yeah, I know. Yeah, it was pretty justified rule, I would say. Yeah.
Okay. We had a rule in my house growing up, and I think a lot of families in my neighborhood abide by the same rule as well. Is you better bring your ass inside before the street lights come on. That was one of those situations because as a child, getting into trouble after dark. It was one of those situations where I would get severely punished. There would be taking the Nintendo joysticks away. There would be no TV. There would be none of the things that we as kids were allowed to do if you showed up at the house after the street lights came on.
Yeah.
That was for us personally. Were you allowed to be like you were in an irrigation lake. You were allowed to stay out past, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
curfew?
it depends what age it was.
All right.
But yeah, like younger, probably not. Yeah, same thing. But if you don't mind, where'd you grow up?
Oh, San Diego, California, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
So was it like a busy
yeah,
kind of area? Our
neighborhood was kind of crazy, dude.
Yeah.
A lot of kids, a lot of here's another one, man. Not a lot of people know this about me too. I'm glad you asked, bro, because this is something that's been on my chest forever. We were dumb. We used to go around and we used to pick up cigarette butts and pretend like we would smoke them.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's why we need to be inside.
Yeah, no, I do.
We do stupid shit like that.
100%, yeah.
We would hang out in canyons, like you hung out at irrigation lakes.
Yeah, where you can fall and die and stuff.
Yes, yeah. Bring your ass inside before.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I grew up it's a very small town, so I don't think it wasn't like there was a lot of people that might be dangerous and stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't that, but it was just stupid things that we can get into trouble. Doing, for sure. That was our vibe. I want to speed back up as we put a little bit of a conclusion to this amazing conversation. I feel like we could chat forever because there's just so many amazing things that are popping off with you and just building this friendship, dude. Also, but let's talk new music, man, and the fact that we got this debut album. You know what I mean? Right here within grasp, but also working with Ian Dior on new track.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be like right here on the bubble with all this new music for the world to get?
It's exciting because this is the first time that I've in my career that I've really had to like sit on a bunch of music.
Yep.
Before this, it was like very much like put a new song out every two months or month or whatever. But this is the first time where it's like build a whole project that's an album, and you gotta like hold off for a little while and then just kind of release it eventually. But yeah, with the song with Ian's exciting. It's a little different than my normal stuff. It's a little more.
Okay.
It's very very pop, very like it's just kind of vibey, good vibe. Summer. Unfortunately, it's summer's past, but
dude. But the way that it's 83 degrees in October in New York City.
It is crazy, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who knows? There's no such thing as seasons anymore. I'm convinced.
Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely a little step out of my normal kind of sound.
But to step out of your comfort zone and to know that you nailed it.
Yeah,
that must be pretty dope.
It definitely is exciting. But I'm like my biggest critic. Like I'm listening to every little thing. Like, oh, this is. I hope they don't notice that hi-hat was like kind of too loud, Like I'll send stuff to my manager. He'll be like, dude, nobody's even got to notice that.
Yeah. Is it like that all the time? Like don't worry about that low drum kick. Only you are the one. I'm looking at right now. Like only he's the one that's gonna recognize it.
Yeah, he has the ear for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's like the producer's curse. So like everybody is like,
for sure.
Yeah.
But you're there. It's the world how has it, and how they connect is gonna be the way that they're supposed to connect. And if history serves us right, man, it's been something that those tiny little hi-hats, might hit you differently in your heart, but it might be a reason why it's supposed to be a little too loud for somebody.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
exactly.
I just don't want you to go, to deep dive too much into it and to overthink it when you're creating from your heart, bro, and that's just the way that it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be that way.
100%, yeah.
But a few more, traveling the world. And gosh, man, stepping out on these stages, on these continents that maybe you never thought that you would have a work visa for or a passport for. Asked Bobby a bit ago, but asking you, how proud are you of yourself to be able to, say, I followed after banging on pots and pans in the house?
Yeah, definitely very proud of myself. I'm pretty modest, and sometimes it feels very like imposter syndrome-y, like where like I'm up on stage, I'm like, why are people even like I literally just made this in my bedroom and I'm playing it in front of all these people. But yeah, I'm definitely proud. I'm excited about how the project's turned out, and will continue to turn out from here. So yeah,
it's a cohesive story that was meant to be told now. And you know what I mean, and that's why the world is gravitating towards to it. Lisa Rose is in the building. Lisa, you have the guest book. Can we come on into you're gonna be the special delivery. What I would love for you to do, man, is crack open that guest book, man. And you're
the first one.
Yeah,
first one.
So don't screw it up, dude. Yeah, like really, this is like that was an expensive book. What's a quote? What's something that that has. By the way, can I ask you guys a question? I know how janky my cards are. Was I holding them upside down this whole time?
I don't think. Well, I think they're
just the last one. All right, yeah, because I think I wrote on. I
didn't notice that. Yeah.
It's DIY here, Maxwell. Like literally, it's tape. It's whatever it is. But all right, you got the guest book, man. Sign your name, but also, what's a quote that resonates with you that will forever be on that page from here into eternity? No pressure.
Does it have to be like? Can it be like just like my own quote, like whatever kind of thing?
Yeah,
all right.
for sure.
So I was thinking music is a universal language. I mean, it's not necessarily a quote, but it's like, music is something that, people might not speak the same language, but when they know the same song, and it kind of brings them together in that kind of way. As
a fan of artists and music and travel, that hit me, and that's what I love about this is, not to stop you from writing. We're gonna get that.
Yeah.
Hold on, you're gonna get that on camera, right, fam? Yeah, we got cameras around here. I love to see that connection, and that's why I travel, the globe to go and watch an artist like you, an artist like I've been to countries and have seen American pop stars in venues where English is a second or even third language.
Yeah.
But that unifying thing is the way that the music makes them feel.
Yeah.
And that's why they're hanging out on the barrier. That's why they're waiting afterwards to say thank you to you as an artist to other artists. That's why the tattoos are on the body, because of the emotion that you're able to create sonically and the feeling that you're able to evoke by just doing what you feel in your heart.
Yeah,
So,
100%. Yeah.
music truly is, dude. Go ahead, sign the book, throw the quote there. I think this is like the perfect time to put a wrap on the episode. What do you say, y'all? Yeah? Thank you for screwing up the intro, Chris. I love you, man. You know what I'm saying? First time jitters. Don't worry about it. That's the thing that kind of happens around here. And a big shout out to Audio Technica House for letting us invade at least one of the rooms here and turn it into Maxwell's house. One time for the one time. As you're jotting it down there, Nurko, let us know how we can make sure we're following you and not some imposter with a underscore at the end of or we're making sure that we're, tapped into your playlist. Socials, actual factuals. It's your time to shine, my guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just Nurko Music on Instagram, TikTok, and then Facebook and Twitter. I think it's just Nurko.
Boom.
I'm honestly not 100%, but yeah, I think that's.
We'll get it fixed up and put a logo on the bottom.
It'll come up. Yeah,
it'll come up when you search it. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for stepping into Maxwell's house. We're gonna go ahead and get the guest book signed, and as I said earlier, anybody and everybody's welcome. Just make sure that you do your best to wipe your feet at the door. One time round of applause for Nurko.
Thank you guys.